Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our 2023 awards program. It's certainly an honor for me to serve in this capacity as your MC. Sustainability is perhaps our greatest global challenge. And as Arun has pointed out, it also presents our greatest opportunity. Defining challenges and seizing the opportunities enable engineers to accomplish great feats. These are the very attributes that are the hallmarks of innovation, and the ability to accomplish great feats is what makes some engineers stand above others. We are here this morning to celebrate trailblazers in engineering innovation. Engineers who saw, observed, discerned a challenge, seized that opportunity, and accomplished great feats. And they did this again and again throughout their careers. Full bios of today's awardees are published on our NAE website, and they're also under our annual meeting link. I encourage you to take a moment to read them to see the full scope of our awardees' accomplishments. We're presenting the two oldest and most prestigious NAE awards. They are presented to our NAE member or to an international member who has upheld the ideals and principles of the NAE through professional, educational, and personal achievements. Established in 1965, the Founders Award was renamed the Simon Ramo Founders Award in 2012. It was endowed by the Kavli Foundation in honor of one of NAE's 25 founding members, Simon Ramo, on the occasion of his 100th birthday. Si passed away in 2016 at the age of 103. The Arthur M. Bueche Award recognizes an engineer who has been actively involved in determining U.S. science and technology policy, promoting technological development, and contributing to the enhancement of relations between industry, government, and academia. Dr. Bueche was a senior vice president for corporate technology at General Electric and a member of the NAE Council. He was outspoken about the advancement of engineering and technology. Unfortunately, Tina Bueche was unable to join us today, but we are grateful to her and the entire Bueche family for their continued support of this award. We also greatly appreciate the work of the 2023 NAE Awards Committee members, and as chair, Dr. Bueche Award. Thank you, sir. He is the President's Distinguished Professor in the Department of Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering at the University of Texas, Arlington. The work of the committee in carrying out the award selection responsibility is greatly appreciated. Presenting the awards today are the NAE President, John Anderson, NAE Executive Officer, Al Romick, and the Chair of the Awards Committee. Again, Bueche Award. It gives me great pleasure to announce the recipient of this year's Simon Ramo Founders Award. The awardee is Dr. Robert W. Conn. Yes, please, Bob. Okay. I would like to continue describing some of his achievements. Dr. Conn is the Distinguished Policy Fellow at the School of Global Policy and Strategy and the Walter Zebel Distinguished Professor and Dean Emeritus in the Jacobs School of Engineering at the University of California, San Diego, as well as President and CEO Emeritus of the Kavli Foundation. He has been a leader in academia, research, business, philanthropy, and national science and technology policy for more than 50 years. As president and CEO of the Kavli Foundation, he played an early and catalytic role in enabling the White House BRAIN Initiative under the Obama administration in 2013. And he, as the first dean of the University of California, San Diego's Jacobs School of Engineering, guided the school to its rise as one of the top 12 engineering schools in the country. Dr. Conn is also recognized as a leading researcher in fusion engineering and fusion energy systems, pioneering the design of fusion energy systems and identifying the major physics and engineering challenges facing the development of practical fusion energy. Dr. Conn is recognized with the Simon Ramo Founders Award for shaping national science and technology policy through leadership in academia, business, and philanthropy, and for seminal contributions to fusion energy. It's my honor to present the award, which has been done to Bob. So let's give Bob a chance to offer some comments.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, and good morning. I must tell you, it's about 3 months ago, when I got a call from John Anderson saying that I was going to be the awardee of the Founders Award, it just took my breath away. One person a year since 1966. And the first person, Vannevar Bush. That Bush, President Roosevelt's science advisor during World War II, the author of Science, The Endless Frontier. I got to tell you, that's setting the bar high. And I literally shook in my chair, and I got to tell you, honestly, tears came to my eyes. So it's also hard, I think, for me to describe as well what it feels like to have an award like this come from you, my fellow members. After all, it's all of you who have chosen me for this rare and prestigious award. And I'll tell you again, I still say to myself, you've got to be kidding. I am, of course, truly honored and so very much appreciative. Engineering is purpose-driven. It is about discovering things, designing things, building things, and solving problems. It's about having inspiring insights and providing leadership, all with the aim of creating a better future. Engineering is also about service and giving back, often through the service on national committees to help the country develop and implement the best possible policies when it comes to science, engineering, technology, education, and of course on national defense. Many of you are newly elected this year, and I say to you my hearty congratulations. But I also say to you, our country's finest engineers, the country actually needs you. I urge you to consider providing the nation with your insights on the policy front when the opportunity arises. For those now new members, you have an imprimatur to make your voice heard. As for me, I wouldn't be standing here were it not for all the colleagues with whom I have worked over 5 decades at 3 different academic institutions, in business and venture capital, and in the world of philanthropy. My first working decade was spent at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where with many of my colleagues, as was said, we established the then new field of fusion engineering. That was the 1970s. And one colleague there was my closest partner, Jerry Kolsinski. Jerry is an Academy member, an absolutely extraordinary engineer. And he and I were perfectly complementary in skills and knowledge. And that's what allowed us to create this new field, which today is very important. My years at UCLA were through the 1980s when I first really got into institution building and national policy issues. But it was also a decade of entrepreneurship. Together with a graduate student, Greg Campbell, so another partnership, we founded in 1986 what became a successful semiconductor equipment company. And I got to tell you, what a ride that was. I mean, I learned a great deal about engineering a successful business, about industry, finances, leadership, and partnerships, and that was a successful company. At UC San Diego, beginning in 1994, I was given the opportunity by the Chancellor Dick Atkinson to transform and grow a school of engineering. Over a decade, it did grow in size, in quality, in recognition, and in rankings. And we ensured its future by working with philanthropists and with industry on major gifts and partnerships. One example with the national implications was working with the Bueche Foundation in the middle 1990s. They were big supporters of bioengineering, by the way. And the idea was to convince them in the 1990s that what was needed by the country, not just by UC San Diego, was support for bioengineering infrastructure. New departments of bioengineering were emerging, and what they needed was buildings. They agreed to provide $20 million per grant to construct new buildings for bioengineering throughout the country. And together with Penn, we were the first winners of that award. And there's a bioengineering building on the UC San Diego campus, but now they're across the country. Another set of gifts, and I have to mention this, were from Irwin and Joan Jacobs. And they made all the difference. Together with them, we transformed the school. And today, the Jacobs School, as was said, is among the top 12 schools in the country, but it also has the largest endowment of any public engineering school in the United States. Irwin is another NAE member, and he was co-founder, CEO, and chairman of Qualcomm. He and his wife Joan's extraordinary gift and the annual payout therefrom help you to retain and attract the best faculty, attract the best students. And all along the way, the Jacobs School has been able to grow along essentially every axis. So I guess in bringing this to some closure, there's a theme here. Nothing gets done alone, but don't be afraid to think big. And for my last hurrah, I had the opportunity to lead the Kavli Foundation, learn and lead in philanthropy, and work with Fred Kavli. It proved to be a phenomenal experience, and one that's best had towards the end of one's career, when a bit more wisdom complements expertise and experience. And perhaps the outcome was mentioned here. One of the biggest outcomes was that we were able to catalyze with very early funding the idea that we could map in the next coming decades the human brain, the functioning brain, not the static brain. And that initiative became President Obama's Brain Initiative, and it was the first science grand challenge problem of the 21st century. By the way, if you looked at the coming in, we're sitting in Fred Kavli's auditorium. At Fred's death in 2013, the foundation was looking for a way to honor Fred. And I contacted the president of the Academy back then, Ralph Cicerone, for ideas. Well, one thing led to another, and there was an 8-figure endowment gift as a result of that conversation. That gift gives the Academy, it has no restrictions on its use by the Academy. So the Academy can do whatever it wants with those resources for its best and highest use. There is no better money. And so, as a tribute to Fred, the Academy agreed to name this auditorium in his honor. I call it the Cathedral of Science, Engineering, and Medicine for the country. So finally, let me say, the best part of engineering, policy, entrepreneurship, and giving back is that it's actually fun. So I say, keep searching, stay curious, solve problems, contribute to policy, and perhaps most importantly, enjoy the ride. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Bob. Next, we are very pleased to announce Dr. David L. Tennenhouse as the 2023 recipient of the Arthur M. Beeker Award. Dr. Tennenhouse is currently a senior advisor to the National Science Foundation's newly created Directorate for Technology, Innovation, and Partnerships. Please come. David's track record of driving innovation in multiple domains is unparalleled. He worked in academia as a faculty member at MIT, and government at DARPA and at the National Science Foundation. In industry, he's performed at Intel, Amazon, Microsoft, VMware, and is a partner in a venture capital firm. At MIT, Dr. Tennenhouse led disruptive research related to software-based video software radio, and software-defined networks. In government and in industry, he championed research in distributed and data-intensive computing, networking, algorithms, nanotechnology, environmental sustainability, cyber-physics systems, and technology policy. He has also pioneered new approaches to industry, government, academic collaborations, including an innovative opening collaborative research model for public-private partnerships. For this and more, especially for the conception, implementation, and stewardship of information technology, R&D, involving unique partnerships among academia, industry, and government, we are very pleased to present the Arthur M. Beaker Award to you, David. Congratulations.
Thank you for that kind introduction. The Grand Bargain is that society fund research and our community ensures the nation's health, prosperity, and security. Today, the U.S. and the world are facing new challenges, including global competition, societal challenges, and the sustainability challenges we're discussing this morning. These challenges require that we accelerate the translation of research into practice through new partnerships across the three legs of the BCA triangle: industry, government, and academia. That's why I've joined the NSF's new TIP Directorate. Whatever parts of the triangle you work in, let's live up to our end of the bargain and engineer a future in which the entire U.S. population is healthier, more prosperous, and more secure. I'm speaking today in my personal capacity and not as a representative of the NSF, and these comments try to bring an engineer's perspective to the Grand Bargain. In terms of prosperity, engineering's been a path to upward social mobility. I'm an immigrant, and I'm fairly certain that a large fraction of the NAE are also immigrants or the children of immigrants. I encourage the Academy to champion the role immigrants play in our profession and as drivers of the U.S. economy, not just the immigrants who come here with amazing education, but all the immigrants. They enrich us through their passion, work ethic, and risk appetite, key ingredients of innovation. If engineering continues to provide a path for immigrants and their children, they'll provide a path to continued U.S. prosperity. Engineers take accountability for failure and strive to learn from them. We have a deep passion for getting to the bottom of how things work and how to make them better, safer, and more efficient. Dan Golden, who is the NASA administrator, once blurted out that NASA had scientific triumphs and engineering disasters. My first reaction was, oh my God, I've got to call Bill Wolf and tell him the NAE needs a new PR team. Then I connected Dan's comment to the key engineering lesson I was taught. When a bridge falls down, people are killed. We're accountable. My own field of information technology has delivered tremendous social and economic value. I'm excited about the endless frontier of new technologies that we've yet to discover. But my colleagues and I need to rededicate ourselves to engineering values. For example, it's not okay to field systems that lack privacy guardrails, or systems in which the provenance of the data is unknown, facts can't be distinguished from fiction, and our shared models of truth are compromised. But today I'd like to enlist your help in making sure the U.S. wins two critical races in which engineering values should play a larger role. One's financial technology. Until immigrating to the U.S., I didn't realize the role capital formation plays in innovation and the role innovation plays in financial markets. If we're going to continue to lead, then we must continue to have the most innovative financial system. Today, fintech is disruptively enabling new forms of digital assets. Our fear of the unknown could cause us to reject these technologies and allow other countries to race ahead. Instead of a crypto winter, let's embrace fintech as a branch of engineering. Let's figure out how these technologies work and reformulate them in ways that align with our values, and in doing so, renew the U.S. franchise on financial innovation. In almost every field, AI, the combination of big data sets and neural networks, is achieving dramatically better results than classical methods. Grounding engineering in more real-world data has to be a good thing. So let's be sure to win the data race. Whatever your area of specialization, please be a leader in bringing a big data culture to your subdiscipline, a culture that involves the collection, curation, and privacy-enhanced sharing of data at a vast scale. I'm eager to engage in the policy discussion around AI, but between us engineers, the real catch is that we don't know how neural networks work. I love the results neural networks achieve. Now that we know those results are possible, CS researchers must reinvent AI. Let's win the race to discover approaches to AI whose inner workings are understood and that get even better results. We also need to double down on making sure that the next generation of engineers retains a thirst to discover how things work, and don't just blindly accept the answers AI provides. Let's guide them to uncover new insights by fusing traditional engineering models with the new data-driven models. 2 weeks ago, Eric Schmidt suggested that AI could enable a 2x across-the-board productivity gain. That made me wonder, how much more productive could engineers become? Why not target a 4x gain? Wouldn't productivity be a better basis for us to compete on than sheer numbers of engineers? With that thought, I'd like to thank the Bueche family, the nominators, the award committee, my colleagues, and especially my team members, and especially my amazing wife and family for this award. Thank you.
So very warm, sincere congratulations to David. Our awardees truly reflect engineering leadership in its finest. Again, congratulations to both Bob and David. Now let's turn the podium over to our president, John Anderson, for the installation of the NAE International Secretary. John?
Thank you, Wes, and again, congratulations to our awardees. And it's always a special time when we can celebrate the achievements of our colleagues in engineering, so thank you very much. And this year, I'm pleased to announce a very important position in the NAE, the International Secretary, has been endowed and renamed in honor of George and Virginia Bugliarello. The newly named George and Virginia Bugliarello NAE International Secretary provides leadership and support for international programs of the NAE. This newly endowed fund supports our strategic efforts by empowering the International Secretary to foster and expand relationships with partners across the globe. The endowment was created by a combination of outright and planned gifts from Virginia Bugliarello in honor of her late husband, distinguished engineer and NAE member, George Bugliarello. George served as the International Secretary of the NAE for 2 terms from 2003 to 2011 with his trademark collegiality, leadership, and kindness. His dedication and enthusiasm to the NAE's international members and the worldwide engineering community at large was a capstone of his service. And anybody who met George remembered him in the most positive of ways. He was also an interim director of our quarterly publication, The Bridge, and he was interim for 14 years. And I think it illustrates that George stepped up when he was needed, always. And I don't think he ever understood how to spell N-O. In addition to his work in the academies, George loved connecting with international members and served on committees fostering scientific cooperation between the United States and nations such as Japan, Iran, and Russia. He consulted with UNESCO and took on assignments as a specialist with the U.S. State Department working towards economic development in Venezuela and Central Africa. George dedicated his career to bettering our world through engineering. While president of the Polytechnic Institute of New York, now the Polytechnic Institute of New York University, he led a revitalization of the institution's flagship campus in Brooklyn, which culminated in the development of the Metropolitan Technology Center. At its height, the Metro Tech brought in 22,000 corporate workers to Brooklyn, and its effect in kickstarting the borough's revitalization earned George the New York City Mayor's Award for Excellence in Science and Technology. We are deeply grateful to Virginia and her gift to honor George in such a meaningful way. It is with great admiration and respect that I announce the inaugural George and Virginia Bugliarello International Secretary, Dr. Nadine Aubrey. Dr. Aubrey was elected as a new international secretary this spring and started her tenure on July 1st. As the Bugliarello International Secretary, she will lead work of the NAE to engage our international members, support programs that promote and foster relationships with global partners in a more robust fashion, and increase the engagement of our international members. Dr. Aubrey is an internationally recognized scholar and academic leader who has made notable contributions to fluid dynamics, particularly the reduced modeling of turbulence and other flows, and microfluidics. She was elected to the NAE in 2011 and has served as a council member since 2018. Dr. Aubrey is a professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at Tufts University. As the former provost and senior vice president at Tufts, she oversaw Tufts' 8-degree granting schools and numerous interdisciplinary programs, centers, and institutes on its multiple campuses. She also served as Dean of the College of Engineering at Northeastern University between 2012 and 2019, and was the head of the Department of Mechanical Engineering at Carnegie Mellon University, where she was the Raymond J. Lane Distinguished Professor and University Professor. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Nadine Aubrey as our inaugural George and Virginia Bugliarello NAE International Secretary. I extend my sincerest congratulations to our awardees, Dr. Conn, Dr. Tennenhouse, and to Dr. Aubrey, our inaugural Bugliarello International Secretary. As Wes mentioned, you embody the most admirable traits of being an engineer and being an engineering leader. Thank you for your service.